La Serie Mundial, arrancando aquí en el Jacobs o en el Fenway. Abanica una pelota abierta, se poncha Cabrera. El primer out en la parte baja de la sexta entrada. Diferente venir del bullpen para entrar en un juego que pues ya está en desarrollo. Viene para home, abanica, foul tip, se poncha Hafner por cuarta ocasión en la noche. Y tenemos ya 2 outs en la pizarra. Turno para Víctor Martínez.
Indigestándose de sopa de pichún Travis Hafner. Perdiendo el paso con una raya.
George Beckett. Y siguen las cosas como van hasta ahora. Estará lanzando un partido de vida o muerte para Boston pasado mañana. Y sí, Sabathia estará en una situación completamente distinta. Trabajando para tratar de meter a los indios a la Serie Mundial. El tercer strike, buena pelota de Lester, esquina de afuera. La vio pasar Lofton, no se va muy contento con el conteo del umpire, que también se enojó por Bennett. Vamos a ver dónde pasó la pelota. Me parece que sí, está en la esquina de afuera. Cuando la pelota pasa por el pentágono, está en la esquina de afuera. Ya cuando la recibe el catcher es otra historia. Hay 2 outs y viene Blake a batear. Se va con una pelota arriba, se poncha. Es dominado por primera vez en el juego. Viene Sopak.
Innings allowing 1 hit. Tulowitzki strikes out. He's claiming that he foul tipped it into the dirt. He doesn't win the argument. That's 2 out, nobody on.
Seems like you could hear something in Tulowitzki claiming he foul tipped the ball, but Veritek caught it above the ground anyway, so it doesn't matter. Veritek has leather between the ball and the ground. That's a strikeout.
Tulowitzki strikes out, and a big strikeout for Lester. His second time he has struck out Tulowitzki 2 away.
Getting Troy on the cutter inside. Veritek setting up in there. And Tulowitzki swinging over it.
Another 2-2. Inning over, another strikeout for Lester. High heat, 94 miles per hour. Back-to-back strikeouts after the 1-out double by Matsui. John Lester's got it working tonight, and after 3, 1-0 Boston, game 4.
His career that owns the inside part of the plate to right-handers, the outside corner to left-handers. He can throw a strike to that corner in his sleep.
And he takes care of Pena with a sweeping breaking ball. 3 out. Running game, such an important part of the Rays' attack. The home runs of this series notwithstanding. And he gets Crawford to chase. Second strikeout. He's retired 5 in a row to start the game.
Well, breaking ball away, cutter away. What's he come back with? Fastball up and in. Well, up and away it ended up being. No chance for Crawford to catch up with that. Who's more of a low ball hitter.
Jason Veritek loves to use the high fastball to finish at bats with his starters and especially
around the plate.
Seven up, 7 down. Third strikeout for Lester.
He's in that mindset now where he can do just about anything he wants to.
Yeah, he's got both sides of the plate. Everything's thrown for strikes. And I don't know if you've seen this, Buck, or you, Chip.
With the extreme fatigue that disorder causes.
Yeah, he just can't work out over an extended period of time and didn't play with this team till August 26th this year.
And Lester strikes him out. Right now he's a pitching machine. 8 up, 8 down, and 4 strikeouts in the game.
But if the Rays are going to hit him, they're going to have to hit good pitches because he's not throwing any bad ones right now, and this is a great fastball.
Well, he threw fastball in, curveball away, fastball away. Go sit down.
Tell you what, when you're catching a guy like this right now, you feel like a catching genius. Oh, I can do anything I want. I'm going to try this one over here, and with a couple of these in there, a little curveball on the outside.
corner. Upton, the second overall pick in the 2002 draft by these Tampa Bay Rays. And he goes down on strikes. Down and in. Got him. And Lester has his 5th strikeout. 1 on, 1 away, 4th inning.
Well, he's got that good cutter today. Watch it inside, starts in the middle of the plate, almost like a little slider down and in, just under the bat of Upton.
Yeah, the cutter is thrown like a football, basically. It's a spiral pitch. It moves along the plane of the bat position. 462. It gets better as the situation gets more intense.
Fastball chased high and away, and Crawford's retired. But the Tampa Bay. And the 80th pitch of the night strikes out Bartlett for the first out of this 5th inning.
Well, like Rocco Baldelli, who he had at 0-2, he didn't make a good enough pitch. This one down out of the strike zone. When you have a hitter who loves the ball in, you can throw it down and then it'll entice them to swing over the top.
Because that's where he's looking. That's where he wants to hit. And if you entice him to start chasing that cutter, he'll swing over the top of it because he thinks it's that fastball.
Iwamura recorded the first Rays hit of this game. Lester strikes him out. Veritek will make the throw to first. 2 outs after the Ibar homer. So 8 strikeouts for Lester in the game. Matt Garza struck.
Much it seems that outside corner is there anytime he wants it. And a swing and a miss. As Rivera down on strikes. The first K for Lester. And there's one down here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, and this is the cut fastball, and he has the ability to throw it toward that back foot. You can see it's a ball off the plate, but with 2 strikes, you don't pick up the spin on it, and you can't really detect it. There's the grip on the cut. Gives you a good idea. He throws it almost like a football and uses that fastball grip, stays on top of the ball, and cuts it down and into Rivera. Start was actually sent to the minor leagues.
And so she's saying he isn't ready at the time. And as a swing and a miss briefly gets away from Victor Martinez. He'll fire to first low. And they get him. It's a 2nd strikeout for John Lester. 1-2-3 second. We play 2. No score.
Bobby Abreu on deck. Abreu is a left-handed hitter.
Figgins with a swing and a miss. He strikes out John Lester. The 225 strikeouts during the regular season picks up his 3rd of the postseason. Let's check back in with Mark Fine. Guerrero strikes out John Lester with a big strikeout, his 4th, and the Angels leave him loaded. We played 3, still no. Mathis strikes out. Lester picks up his 5th K with 4 from Southern Cal without a score in game 1.
First postseason game. So many years here with the Red Sox as their pitching coach. Jennings strikes out, and that's how the afternoon begins for John Lester.
Well, the leadoff man's going to see some guys already as we look at this fastball. Just beats Jennings. He had some success coming into this game, 462 average, but already seen Myers ask, can you see the ball? You know, that shadow that's at the mound, that's the first thing the leadoff guy, not only does he want to work to count and get on base.
That bright light basically behind him.
1-2 to Lester, and a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for John Lester to start his game.
Well, Lester's been waiting for this moment. It seems like a week, 5-6 days. He throws another one inside. That's going to be the key. He's already thrown at 97 miles an hour. He loves pitching at home. 7-1, and certainly this is going to be a different type crowd than we've seen in the first 2 cities. This team
finishing his year at 15-8. Swing and a miss. John Lester. You know how they have finished. And Lester strikes out Longoria. Boy, what a start. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts, all swinging.
Well, he's established in, and he'll go away later. He's got the backdoor cutter to the front door cutter, but what he's done is taken these right-handed hitters inside conscious, and that'll open up the outside part of the plate later.
The shutdown inning. 11 pitches is all it takes. 3 up, 3 down for Leicester. They do have a 5-game series as opposed to an elimination day. Leicester keeps the Rays down. John Lester, 11 straight retired, picks up his 6th strikeout. A swing and a miss. Lester with a spinner in there and picks up another strikeout. That'll be his 7th.
He's Detroit since 2006. 1-2 pitch. 1 out.
That is as hard as John Lester can throw the ball. Good spot, too, to get Jackson. Two-seam fastball.
We've seen Lester a lot. But I don't remember a time where the ball was exploding out of his hand like it is in that small sample against Austin.
And confirming that Lester is throwing very hard.
2 out.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Hunter can't lay off of it.
How'd you like our little pregame visit with David Ross, the catcher for the Boston Red Sox?
Now he's such an engaged. Fonte is looking inside.
And he goes back in there for the strikeout. 2 out.
David Ross takes about as much upon himself as a catcher. He is very, very conscientious. Good breaking ball from Lester. And pitchers will love that.
Got him looking. 8 of the 13 batters that have stepped to the plate here in Game 1 have struck out tonight on a cold night at Fenway. No score after 1.5. The strikeout and the throwout ends the. So a run score. That is strikeout number count. Breaking ball strikes out Peralta. 1 away. John Farrell takes the ball away from the left-hander Lester. He exits as we play here in this 2 at Fenway Park. Here's the 0-2. 2 out. Two up, 2 down. A lot of talk all day about
in the major leagues, and then improve to being over a 300 hitter. It's one of the toughest things in the game to do because your first responsibility is with your pitching staff.
Strikeout starts the 2nd, and Molina wheels his way out of there.
That's that cutter on the outside part. We talked about the Cardinals having to make John Lester use the middle of the plate to get guys out. That was a wicked cutter to get Molina. A strike also.
That reaction caught the attention of John Hirschbeck, the home plate umpire, and now Molina tied the game. And then eventually won that game in the 11th with a home run. He chipped in Game 7. That's strike 3.
Same pitch. A little higher than the one to Molina. Look at David Ross sitting outside. That's a cut fastball from Lester, and he is sharp this inning.
We've seen Lester now 3rd start we've watched him. We saw the 2 in the ALCS. He already looks better tonight and more crisp hitter. So clearly there was an injury out and right on that catch. as Carpenter strikes out, and that's 4 on the night for John Lester. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning at Fenway, leads the Cardinals 5-0.
3 left-handed pitcher.
The 2-2. Strikeout for out number 1. And the 5th of the night for John Lester.
Good breaking ball used at the right time. Holiday way out in front. 5th strikeout for Lester.
Matt's dad, Tom, 1 run this postseason in 21 innings. That's strike 3, and that's out number 2. And strikeout number 6 for John Lester.
Cutter on the outside corner. That, by the way, that 1 run he allowed, the home run, the solo home.
Strikeout starts the inning. 1 away at strikeout number 7.
That fastball in and out to the right-handed batters of the Cardinals. Very effective tonight.
It'll bring in Matt Adams. We talked about what John Lester's been through and what he went through as a young man. Both Jay and Robinson are in the lineup because Beltran left with an injury in the 2nd. Here's another 0-2. How about John Lester tonight? In total control, he has struck out 8 and allowed no runs on 5 hits and leads 5-0. Strikeout ends the inning, and the Cardinals go down 1-2-3. 2nd inning of Game 5 rolls in. Red Sox coming up, leading 1-0. Takes his lead. We get another 2-2 to Molina. Got him looking. And strikeout number 2, out number 1 here in the 2nd.
The problem for hitters on that cutter is they think it's going to be outside, and it cuts in over the plate. That was a perfect pitch by Lester. Outside to the corner.
When Alan Craig made an appearance last night as a pinch. Here's a 1-2. Wainwright strikes out, just tied up by John Lester.
That cutter down and in, and Wainwright lost his balance.
Strikeout number 3 for John Lester, out number 2 in the inning, and now Matt Carpenter. Inside corner to strike him out, and Carpenter spins around to talk to Bill Miller.
The cutter, he thought it was inside. Miller didn't.
And the strikeout is the 4th of the night, to the surprise of Matt Carpenter. And a great tourist attraction here in St. Louis. Here's a 1-2. Got him looking. And there's that pitch again, strikeout number 5.
You know, that is the best example of a cutter that Lester can throw. Starting about 9 inches outside and cutting late over the plate. It's hard to read and harder to hit.
It'll bring in.
Show me a guy who pitches inside, and I'll show you a loser.
Here's a 2-2. A strikeout on a pitch up. Strikeout number 6.
Fastball up, gets him. Jim Bunning was saying it was fascinating to hear 2 Hall of Famers talk like that. Jim Bunning was saying you show guys the fast.
2-2 pitch. 6 in a row retired by John Lester now. And strikeout number 7.
Lowry.
The 0-2, and he literally goes down swinging. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the third.
Which are so important to your success.
Got him off speed. 1 down here in the fourth. Moments ago, we spoke with the A's pitching coach, Kurt Young. Going back to the curveball. And we got him to wave at it for the second out. Time for records and milestones presented by Jim Beam. And you see John Lester's sterling earned run average coming into this game in the postseason of 2.11, trailing only Christy Matheson and Wade Hoyt. Kurt Schilling on that list, and Kenny Holtzman, number 5 on
all of those guys, big game pitchers.
Strikes out Butler and has set down the last 10 Royals he's faced. 6 innings in the books, and the A's 9 outs away. And there's a strike 3 call. Gordon strikes out for the second.
1-2 the count. And down he goes. So Lester with a strikeout to end the inning, but the Cardinals strike first. And it's Matt Holliday who drives in Piscotty.
Didn't think he had power with his bat like that.
And a wave and a miss, and John Lester picks up his second strikeout. He got Peralta to end the first. Lester starts the second with a K.
He's one of those guys that starts.
Injured his thumb sliding into third base. He tore ligaments. Re-injured it. They said right out of the gates it wasn't that bad, and Molina will take a called strike 3, and that's 3 consecutive strikeouts for John Lester.
Boy, to me, this was a very, very tentative at bat. Swung the bat once, took everything. And that doesn't look real good to me, the way his approach at all. It's like he's just like a pitcher hitting.
I'm wondering if on the foul ball, how different it is.
Right.
Live conditions versus batting practice. If that foul ball affect.
Another payoff coming. And on the 8th pitch, Lester picks up the strikeout, which is his.
John Lester.
Here's the payoff. And Peralta, swing and a miss. Down he goes. Lester makes a big pitch. And a strikeout for John Lester, which is number 5.
That's a huge pitch for Lester right there, 3-2. He walks him really, but he cannot lay off that cutter. It wasn't that real hard cutter. Almost like a slider.
Yeah, I thought it was even more of a slider than a cutter.
Full count to Grichuk. Lester delivers, called strike 3. Boy, the pitch tracks had it off the plate, but Lester gets the call, and down goes Grichuk for the second out of the inning.
I got to have this one right there. I know it goes around, but boy, it looks pretty where they caught it, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like a strike?
You're the pitcher, Ed.
Doesn't that look like a strike to you? He caught it right there.
Well, Chris Coughlin ought to go look at that and feel like things have been evened up a little bit.
You made Joe jump out of his seat right there. You're like, I got to have that. Joe says, wait a minute.
Wasn't he sitting right? He threw it right where he was sitting.
Because they didn't care if they walked him.
Right.
I was talking to David Ross before the game, and both of these catchers, Molina and Ross, they're so savvy. They know how to talk to umpires. And I was asking David, what's your approach against Phil Cuzzy, the home plate umpire? He goes, I might give him a little advance work. Hey,
he's had to.
And the 0-2, and Wong, a swing and a miss. Not much he can do with that one. Strikeout number 7 for John Lester.
You haven't seen too many curveballs, but that's one of them right there. Talking about way off speed after throwing that hard cutter. Gets him way out front. You hadn't seen that.
Cubs with 97 wins this year, and yet they finished third. Was considered for manager of the year in the National League, especially with the injuries that they dealt with this year. As Lester makes quick work of Lackey, back-to-back Ks, gives him 8.
And they've been to the NLCS 4 straight years.
Boy, they have not skipped a beat. La Russa won it, 2011, left.
7th career. Faced him twice in September and tied him up. And that's the pitch that has made John Lester a star in this game. A cut fastball pouring in on the right-handed batter. 2 up, 2 down.
Wins over the Mets came before this guy came. And what an impact he had. But here in the first, he is a strikeout victim. Daniel Murphy. Here comes the 3-2. And he got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for John Lester.
Definitely the book on Cespedes is when you get 2 strikes and you got a fastball, let's raise the fastball up in the strike zone a little bit. This one's in the top edge of the strike zone. Ross was given a higher target. He hit it perfectly.
Travis Dark.
Imagine it doesn't carry real good to center right now. A high fly ball.
And Kadire takes a called 3rd strike from Lester. 1 down here in the 5th. Our producer Scott Cockrell just waiting on a 3-2. Strike 3 called. And John Lester pumped up as he walks off the mound here at Citi Field.
Throws the ball over to first base.
And Belt commits. 2 gone to start the top of the first.
Well, this is the fastball away. He'll cut his fastball. You see that cutting action right there. He'll throw a cutter away and cutters in to right-handers. And he'll use that occasional breaking ball if he feels like he needs to get them off of the hard stuff. But John Lester, power pitcher, as are most of the Cubs this year. 3rd most strikeouts regular season game as you can.
Here's the 3-2. And Tomlinson's unable to hold up.
This is just a combination of being consistent and stubborn on this side of the plate. I believe he called that a strike and didn't call it on the swing. And you've seen there's a lot of pitches right there. Tomlinson, I don't blame you for not swinging. But John got the call.
Lester looking for a 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. And that one bunted foul off of David Ross. That's it.
Yeah,
bunt foul, and that'll do her. Everybody stayed on the field to see what was up with David Ross, but the foul bunt with 2 strikes means a 1-2-3 5th for John Lester. Crawford in a slump, and it just didn't look like the Giants were going to score enough runs to get to the postseason. Belt swings and misses.
Matt, to his words, he said they could do nothing right. They were as bad as you can be in the second.
No need to hit for Bumgarner. The score was no longer tied. You didn't have to worry about getting that go-ahead run. Parker, though, was celebrating, and Bochy had to scream at him to get back in the dugout so Bumgarner could hit and remain in the game.
Would you have imagined if Parker was announced and they had to remove Bumgarner from that game? Gillespie swings and misses. And that's 5 strikeouts for Lester tonight.
Yeah, what Bruce Bochy actually said, he had to get Denard Span to go race out there and get him because Bochy couldn't get out there at any close to that speed.
Figure out a way to get Jock Peterson. They figured it out. 2 down.
Well, just too big of a swing. Peterson has all kind of power. Right there, that power of Lester.
never has making pitching changes this season for the Dodgers. 2 out.
And let me just put a couple things to bed.
It was 0-2, now it's 2-2. 2 out. Third strikeout for John Lester, our Michelob Ultra. A strikeout and a big out for Lester. The one way Lester and Ross can combat it to a certain degree is you look at the strikeout pitch. He gets a fastball by him. Is Lester's relatively quick to the plate and Ross can still throw. So it won't matter if a guy's got a 30-foot lead over at first base, but they are a good tandem in that regard.
Well, and that's why.
In for strike 3.
Right field.
And Gonzalez talks to Marquez on his way back to the dugout. 1 out.
Well, the goal of any pitcher is to continue to put pressure on the batter and home plate umpire. If you throw it in the same general area enough, you might get a call or two.
Yasiel Puig has been swinging the bat better last couple of games. Got it. And Lester fired up after the strikeout as he gets the better of the rookie shortstop. The ace of this staff pumped up with a 1-run lead after 3 in Game 5 of the NLCS.
Oh, absolutely.
He got past Maeda in this matchup against the Cubs ace, and it's tied in the 5th inning with his team at bat. And 2 out in the inning. Strikeout number 4 for Lester, and he's pitched another good one. We said it coming into the game, and it's what Joe Madden told us. He said this is a race to the closer on each side. Kenley Jansen for the Dodgers, Aroldis Chapman for the Cubs. Joe Madden said, I want Lester to be the one to get the ball into the hand of Aroldis Chapman. Nobody in between. He won 7 out of
close pitches at the plate.
Got him. And Lester has struck out 5. John Lester doing his thing. Baez will start in the 6th in a 1-1 game. FS1 tonight's telecast. 2-2. Struck him out and the inning is over. A 1-out hit by Seager. And Lester is through 6. And the Cubs lead it 3-1. In Los Angeles.
Steal bases against Lester, put pressure on him, you increase your chances of winning.
Struck him out. 94 from John Lester, up and away. And Davis went after it, 1 down.
Lester's fastball has been electric all second half. He had a little trouble locating with the Dodgers, getting him a little bit off his game with the dancing around on the bases that we mentioned. But he has primarily stayed with the 4-seam fastball and cutter. Occasionally throws the changeup, but he'll go to the curveball more than the changeup.
That is right down the middle and a big strikeout for Lester. John knows he is in a battle tonight against Corey Kluber, 1 out.
Now this situation right here, after coming back and making these 3 pitches to get a strikeout, at some point Joe Madden is going to pick his spots and throw a pitch out.
No rain in the forecast for game 1. 2-2 count. Got him looking, and a good job by John Lester after all that. And he now walks over toward the home plate umpire. Lester has kept it a 2-run game. In a 2-0 game in his 2-2 pitch. Strikeout number 4 and out number 1 here in the 4th inning for John Lester.
Well, even though he gave up those 2 runs in the 1st inning, it was aided by that stolen base. And I'll tell you, with 2 outs, he worked himself in a little bit of trouble. That's the Indians' going to be MO against tonight's starter Lester and tomorrow night's starter. And now he can sleep. Maybe not all the way through, but he can sleep a lot easier today than a couple years ago.
1 out, nobody on. Napoli strikes out. Good pitch from Lester, 2 out. We can save the video for later with Baez and Lindor. Let's go to Tom Verducci to hear more about the sleep issues that Mike Napoli dealt with.
Yeah, guys, his sleep apnea was so bad they figured out about more than 100.
Pedroia telling Francona, you got to get Mike Napoli. He will make a huge difference. He led him in RBIs. A strike 3 called on Carlos Santana. And Lester's really settled in. He struck out 6, but the Indians lead by 3 after 5. Leadoff double by Ramirez. A 2-2 pitch now to Geyer. Got him looking, and a big strikeout for Lester. Number 7 on the night.
Well, that's the side of the plate to go, and both Ross and Lester working hard to get this call all night, and it paid off because that pitch was off the plate. And you can see where Ross was set up, but that has been the lenient side of the plate. I don't care what anyone tells me, the human factor of an umpire always is going to have one side over the other that might have an inch that you can get.
Quick strikes on Davis, now a 2-2 count. Lester got it.
Well, he goes to the 2-seamer away. Just a great pitch after pounding him in with fastballs and cutters. First out of a guy who can run. A good start for Lester. Good cutter right there. Trying to start it in against Kipnis. Actually has real good late action. And a good start.
John Lester has pitched in a couple of elimination games, and his team trying to make a statement here in the 1st inning. His team down 3 games to 1. Andre Dawson watching. Hood on. 3-2 pitch. Geyer strikes out.
And he went out there, and this time he got the benefit of it. Pretty much what we saw on the 2-2 count or the 1-2 count, but Geyer, can't blame him.
Well, here comes Chris Bosio. You've got the number 8 hitter, Roberto Perez, with a runner at 3rd, 2 out. The pitcher spot is next.
Without it being a balk, even if he doesn't throw it.
That's on the corner, struck him out.
Good pitch.
That followed the visit by Ross. after Lester didn't get that 1-2 pitch for strike 3. Lester now steps off and looks back at Rajai Davis, who is basically daring John Lester to just
already shorten game.
A strikeout ends the inning. But Joe Madden has gone to the bullpen early. He took out Kyle Hendricks. Great base running by Jason Kipnis. Game 7. 2-run game.
The base runners and really force the issue against Lester.
Strikeout starts the 6th. Sounds of
in Game 5 in Chicago, a close game.
A strikeout ends the inning. Lester pumped up. And you know they are back in Chicago as Game 7 goes to the 8th. Cubs coming up. Heart of the order to the plate. Lester fired up.
Longer to accomplish, but as long as you keep getting outs, it's worth it.
Two out. That's 4 strikeouts for John Lester. We haven't seen that pitch a strike most of the night. Theo and his son.
Guy wired for this time of year. And Harper way out in front for out number 2.
Well, both these lefties looked like they came to pitch. They saw a blueprint on how to do it last night from Hendricks and Strasburg. Lester career against the Nationals, 2-1 with a 2.79 ERA and 38 2/3 innings pitched. Only 1 home run allowed. Look at that sparkling ERA in the division series for his career.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Lester strikes him out with the bases loaded. What a big pitch by the guy making his 20th postseason start. Still 3-1. We have witnessed some just more of the same today here in Game 4. Tough, tight games. Going to hinge on a play here or a play there. That's a 1-2-3 inning for John Lester as he strikes out Murphy. Strike 3 call. John Lester. It's October. And that guy is nails. Appearances. And Carl Edwards, who's pitched in every game so far for Chicago. Harper waves at strike 3. 1 down here in the 8th.
Well, Strasburg is the biggest reason the Nationals are winning this game, but if the Cubs ever do come back, it might be John Lester who's the big reason for the Cubs. 10 up and 10 down.
Ryan Zimmerman is 0 for 3, but it was his ground ball that Russell couldn't field.
Season with a bang, 4 homers in his final 6 games, and is a strikeout victim in his first try tonight.
John Lester gets those 2 pretty much backdoor cutters on the outside part of the plate called to set up the breaker that comes strike 3. Because he gets these called, Watch Trevor's Story and what he has to do to protect. He sees this away. He thinks it's still a fastball, and it just dives right down underneath his bat for the miss. Those 2 pitches get called to ball. He doesn't even throw that.
The 1-2. Got him swinging. After an atypical opening to the game, John Lester gets it back on the tracks with back-to-back strikeouts to limit the first inning damage at a run. Fans making it a little 2-strike noise on his behalf. He got him. 3 strikeouts tonight for the 5-time All-Star. And the guy who made the big catch a moment ago is the first to hit in the bottom half of the inning in a 1-0 Rockies lead. Is that it? Okay, Jason, thanks. I was rather enjoying that. I was getting ready to go down in the stands and get myself a hot beef. Swing and a miss by Kyle Freeland, and there's one away for John Lester. You know, I want to just kind of piggyback what Eduardo was talking about regarding Lester and the heartbeat. I mean, when you're talking about a guy who's on the all-time postseason innings pitched list, and with a laundry list of fall accomplishments that few can match, what happened in the regular season in terms of velocity dips, in terms of walk?
And that worked out very well.
Breaking ball called strike 3. Desmond is locked up. 6 for John Lester already tonight.
And that's why John Lester is John Lester. This is a 3-2 backdoor breaking ball, and it's a dandy. Perfect pitch, unhittable pitch, and out of his hand, Desmond Desmond thinks this ball is actually a pitch out, and it curves right in. Excellent pitch by John Lester.
It's good cross promotion, though. College Game Day guys are smiling this Saturday.
I am ready. And my former my former neighbor down in Miami.
So 2 gone for Lester now, and that'll bring back the left. Blackman bluffs, and LeMahieu takes a called strike 3. Five for John Lester tonight.
And the fake steal sometimes affects the hitter more than the pitcher. And perhaps that fake steal just makes LeMahieu wait just a second. Thinks that ball is up, strike 3.
How does it do that, Alex?
You know, your peripheral vision, when you see Blackman run, all of a sudden you just flinch as a hitter. And is very unproductive, especially if you're
in his postseason success. It's not like he had to work into it. The learning curve was very steep for John as he rings up Iannetta. But that's 7 tonight for him already.
And this is the signature pitch we've been talking about, is the cutter. And his backdoor and is meant to freeze you. Most of the strikeouts are backwards K. The right-handed hitter, you just give up on it. I did it a bunch.
Might have set up to be a problem for John. Boy, he has really gotten it back together. That's 8 for him tonight. More on John Lester. 177 regular season wins with the Red Sox, a brief stint with the A's, and of course with the Chicago Cubs. He is a 3-time World Series champion with the Red Sox in 07 and 13, and most recently the Cubs 2 years ago. His 26th postseason appearance tonight. 9-7 in the fall. Tonight, this is his 3rd career start in a winner-take-all game. Only Roger Clemens has ever pitched in more. The payoff pitch. Got him swinging! 9 for Lester tonight! And none bigger than that one to strand a runner and keep it just a 1-0 game. Why, after 6 dominating innings, he is going to his bullpen in a 1-0 game. An offensively starved Cubs club choosing to pinch hit to lead things off in the bottom of the 6th inning.